In this video, how to install cement board in the tub area and waterproof it. Okay, so I'm putting this Drywall on, and I further it out on the back wall. The board's already up so you can't see it, but on this wall here, and so that when I put the board on, it'll go over the lip and not on top of the lip or behind the lip. This way the board will come over this lip, and that's how it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to go on top or behind. That way you keep the water out of the wall. And I'm going to waterproof this, obviously. This wall I can't do anything about it, so I'm going to take another tactic on that to waterproof that, because I have to meet this thickness here of this sheetrock. So I'm going to put this board up now. Okay, so these screws, you want to put them every 8 inches, and they have to be screws that are good. These are Drywall screws, so they have to be good for cement board. Can't use a drywall screw because the chemicals in the board will eat the drywall screw away, so you can't use those. So I'm going to finish putting these screws in here, and I'm going to move on to the next pieces. Okay, so I've got all the Drywall on, and I put this tape, this mesh tape on here, which is Drywall tape. It's alkali resistant or corrosion resistant tape. Don't use drywall tape, because drywall tape will deteriorate over time because of the alkalinity of the thinset. So now I'm going to skim coat all this with thinset, let it dry, and then waterproof. Anyway, so you get the idea. Do all the corners and seams, and you want to just run very light so you don't get any built up. Okay, so that's all done. When that dries, I'll waterproof it with okay, so I'm going to waterproof this tub, and because I'm painting it on, it's going to go all over the place. So what I do is obviously cover it up, and it's going to go down this line, so I don't have to worry about trying to follow the line. If I go over the tape, it's not going to be a big deal. The same over here. So I'm going to make sure I get that corner and make sure I fill that and this here and all around the bottom. Make sure I cover everything really good. 2 coats. And I'm going to put the reinforcing fabric, this here, in the corners. And then I'm going to paint the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to do now. I am going to give this 2 coats. I put some fabric around the bottom just to make sure everything gets sealed up nice and in the corners, but I'm not going to cover the ceiling. Now Durock is water safe, but it is not waterproof. It will absorb moisture, and with enough moisture it'll soak all the way through. If I put a sponge on here, it's going to soak up all the water. It's going to soak it up. So you need to waterproof this and coat it. So that's why you coat it with a waterproofing membrane, a liquid applied waterproofing membrane, so that the water, any water that gets on the Durock, even if the tile's on it, gets behind the tile, it will not go through the Durock and penetrate into the wall cavity. So that's why you waterproof it. You want to make sure you wear gloves, because this stuff gets in your hands, you're not getting it off. Okay, so see how it's been sitting for a while and it's all settled. You want to make sure you stir it really good. Get all the components all mixed together. Okay, so I mixed it thoroughly. First I'm going to give it out the corners. Then I'll get the lower place and make sure you cover the tub. See, I have that tape up to the edge there. I know that the tile is going to cover all that edge there, so I don't have to worry about getting it on the tub. On a 1/2-inch snap roller. So I'll do the other 2 walls and then I'll give it a second coat. That's 1 coat. I'm not going to do the ceiling, but that's 1 coat on the walls, and I went up and down. The next coat, when this dries, will be side to side, and that'll give it full coverage and make the walls waterproof. Pretty much dry, so I'm going to give everything a second coat. Okay, so that's 2 coats. Everything's waterproof. Now obviously it's gonna dry.